free, and I was meant to be. I'm living free, living free, living free, and I was meant to be free, meant to be free. Hello world, wake me up to another good morning, time to go. Got that smile upon my face, 'cause there's excitement in the chase, this I know. Yeah, I'm going for the ride, and find myself I am alive, and I soar. Still I run towards the wind, and let the challenge draw me in, 'cause I want more. Oh, we are all looking for adventure. 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 Oh, wake up heart and wake up mind, and see the world is yours to find. And with every passing day there's more, calling you out to explore. Get up and go. There is joy found in the race, and I feel it in the place where I'm free. And I simply can't deny it, that I feel adventure calling out to me. Yeah, we are all looking for adventure. 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 Hello world, wake me up to another good morning, time to go. Got that smile upon my face, 'cause there's excitement in the chase, this I know. Yeah, I'm going for the ride, and find myself I am alive, and I soar. Still I run towards the wind, and let the challenge draw me in, 'cause I want more. Oh, we are all looking for adventure. 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 Oh, wake up heart and wake up mind, and see the world is yours to find. And with every passing day there's more, calling you out to explore. Get up and go. There is joy found in the race, and I feel it in the place where I'm free. And I simply can't deny it, that I feel adventure calling out to me. Yeah, we are all looking for adventure. 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 free, living free, and I was meant to be. I'm living free, living free, living free, and I was meant to be free, meant to be free. Hello world, wake me up to another good morning, time to go. Got that smile upon my face, 'cause there's excitement in the chase, this I know. Yeah, I'm going for the ride and find myself, I am alive, and I soar. Still I run towards the wind and let the challenge draw me in, 'cause I want more. Oh, we are all looking for adventure. 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 Oh, wake up heart and wake up mind, see the world is yours to find, and with every passing day there's more, calling you out to explore. Get up and go. There is joy found in the race, and I feel it in the place where I'm free. And I simply can't deny it, that I feel adventure calling out to me. Yeah, we are all looking for adventure. 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 We are all looking for And I'm living free, living free, living free, and I was meant to be. Living free, living free, living free, and I was meant to be. I'm living free, living free, living free, and I was meant to be free, meant to be free. Hello world, wake me up to another good morning, time to go. Got that smile upon my face, 'cause there's excitement in the chase, this I know. Yeah, I'm going for the ride and find myself, I am alive, and I soar. Still I run towards the wind and let the challenge draw me in, 'cause I want more. Oh, we are all looking for adventure. 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 We are all looking living free, and I was meant to be. I'm living free, living free, living free, and I was meant to be free, meant to be free.
How's everybody doing today? I guess I was waiting on Nitsa. I was waiting on Nitsa to kind of get started. I guess she got tired a little bit. That's fine. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into this. My name is John Johnson. I'm very excited to have the opportunity to present the Dubai XLT and the real estate to you. This is something that I've had a lot of fun with, to be honest with you. I absolutely love real estate. I'll give you my background here in just a moment as well. But before we get into my background in real estate and everything I've done over the last 20 or so years, I want to kind of talk about what's going on with the tokenization of real estate. One of my really good members sent me an article just a couple of days ago. So I read through it and it was pretty amazing. And it's everywhere. It's everywhere. The tokenization of real estate, and it's not just real estate, they're tokenizing everything right now. This is just beginning, and this is a trend that is going to continue on and on and on and on. And for those of us who take advantage of this trend, it's something that could really, really benefit us. So look at Fortune magazine. Anyone with a few $1,000s can play tycoon and buy a part of a condo or iconic building. You can tokenize a building. Bloomberg, biggest banks in the world, working on tokenization. I mean, tokens will take over Wall Street. This is everywhere right now. If you don't think that blockchain is big and cryptocurrency is just starting to dominate, you've got to start looking at it. You've got to start reading. You've got to start doing your due diligence and your homework, because it's everywhere. And what we've got with this tokenization, it definitely is a future. It's kind of tokenization on steroids. We're going to talk about that a lot today as well. And here's a link at the bottom of this page that just kind of quotes the source where I'm reading this from. Forbes, the next big thing. Soon you will be able to pick up a few square feet of a penthouse in Bangkok, a ski resort in Colorado, a golf course in Hawaii for a fraction of the cost, because you can buy it in square inches and square feet. You don't have to buy the entire thing. This is really, really big. This is just an opportunity that Mr. Hite saw. He's afforded it to all of us members in a private cell for a short time, that we'll be able to take advantage of this building and the benefits we're going to be able to receive as XLT holders. I call XLT the gateway. It's a gateway token into a worldwide marketplace and all sorts of potential earnings. It's just phenomenal what this company does, what they've done for us, and Mr. Hite. So give you my background a little bit. I was a licensed appraiser for several years. I left the appraisal profession about 3.5 years ago. Just kind of got burned out. I'll be honest, I got sick of measuring houses, so I kind of let my license go. So I'm not doing these calls to give you financial advice, anything like that. This is just education. It's education. You'll make your own determination on what you want to do. I just share the information with you via private cell for members only, and you decide. But this is my background in real estate. Before I stepped away because my passion was sales. I've always loved sales. I've loved training. I've loved being a consultant and things of that sort, or just having my own businesses outside of real estate. But in real estate, at the time, I have had a license in Georgia. I had a license in Utah. In Utah, I actually had all 3 licenses for some time. I had my sales license. I had my license as a loan officer and an appraiser. Primarily, I did the appraisals. I've had my other licenses to learn more about the industry. I was just kind of hungry for more information. You know, when you get involved in something and you fall in love with it, you just want to learn more and more and more. Because of that, I was able to broaden my horizons. I've had rental properties. I've done quick flips where you just buy and sell. I've done a lot of stuff in real estate over the years, a lot of consulting in real estate. And I had appraisers working for Johnson Appraisal Management when we were in Georgia. We had appraisers in several countries in the Southeast. When I had Johnson Appraisal Services in Utah, we had appraisers in about 7 or 8 states around Utah. And I was able to review a lot of files, kind of thing. I mean, I've just done a lot. I've done a lot in real estate. So it's kind of something I am very, very familiar with. I'm very familiar with tokenization, fractionalization, as it was called before they started tokenizing it. I understand the whole concept and everything. But what I also understand too is trends, and I understand momentum, and I understand where the world's headed with real estate. It's something I follow very, very closely. And in my opinion, out of all the tokenized projects out there, I believe this one is superior. And there's a lot of reasons for that. We'll get into what I believe those reasons are. But if I were to ask you a question, what is the most important aspect in real estate to an investor? Not to somebody who's living there, but to an investor. Would it be location, cost, maybe, size, shape, price? Because cost and price are two separate things. The market or the yield? And the answer is yield. If I'm an investor and I purchase a property, I want to see how much money I earn on it every year. What's my annual return? What is my yield? Is it 5%, 8%, 10%? What am I getting on the property every year? We're going to talk a lot about yield and why I believe the yield directly and indirectly, which is a little different in real estate. You usually don't hear indirect yields, but directly and indirectly, why XLT is just head and shoulders above the rest, and why I'm so excited about being able to present this to you today. So one thing I know that people love, they love options. If I were to get into real estate, I want options. Right now, option one, I can go purchase a rental house and I can rent it out for X amount of years, however many years I want to rent it out. Or I can buy and quickly fix it up and sell it. I could flip the house. One of those two options. I've done both. I've done both. I've had rentals and I've flipped houses. I can tell you over a 25-year span, according to Zillow.com, Zillow, Zillow.com, 9.63 to 10.3% yields over 25 years. Why would it say over 25 years? And we're going to get into that more later on the presentation. But it's because if you purchase a home and you carry a mortgage and you rent it out, well, if you have a mortgage and you're paying a mortgage every month and you're paying additional costs, including management fees for management company to manage the property for you, or fees to maintenance fees, things of that sort, it's going to make your yield lower. So typically, if you purchase a home to rent it out the first several years, your yield is going to be a lot smaller, maybe 1% to 2%. And if you pay cash, it's probably going to be 6 to 7%, somewhere in there on average. Over time, if you increase your rent, you pay your mortgage down, things like that. That's why it says 9.63 to 10.3% over 25 years is the average, not year one. It's not even close to that in year one. You have another option, tokenized real estate. Well, 6 to 10% yields, and you're thinking, oh, that's pretty good. And that's right off the bat. That's not over 20. That's right off the bat. You can call other tokenized platforms and get 6 to 10% yields right off the bat. And you can purchase fractions of a unit, fractions of a property. For example, I can only afford 5 square feet, 10 square feet, 50 square feet, 100 square feet. You can buy commercial. You can even buy residential. There's both. This is something that's very viable. A lot of these companies, you're going to have to still be pre-approved. A lot of them have minimums, X amount of dollars. Some of them are a couple $100, some of them a couple $1,000. Some of them are beyond that. It all depends. But the yields are going to be about 6 to 10%. What does that mean? If I spend $100,000 my first year at 10%, I'll make about $10,000. It's 10%, right? So that's what the yield is. Then you've got the XLT tokenized real estate. And notice I kind of lit up that box a little bit. Why? Because it's starting at 8% yields with massive upside. My other two options, it's going to max out around 10% yields. That's just about what they do. These are the numbers that have been, looked at many different sizes. There's, again, Zillow.com and other sources you can look at. We're starting at 8% with massive upside. We're going to talk about what that massive upside is in this presentation as well. Can purchase fractions. You can do everything you can do with the tokenized project, but you will also open a gateway to additional potential streams of income with only a $99 minimum and no approval necessary. So when I look at and I stack these against each other, I really lean towards the XLT tokenized real estate that we've got here with our company. Another thing I look at is a market overall. I don't even consider option number one right now. Buying and renting a house right now, in my opinion, as someone who spent years and years in real estate, again, just my opinion, do with it what you want. I would not do option number one right now because of the housing shortage. And this housing shortage is not ending anytime soon. In fact, according to Forbes, and this is just from October 24th, a couple weeks ago, there's a link below, the scarcity of properties that plagued the housing market long before COVID-19 struck the US likely will outlast other pandemic shortages, according to Goldman Sachs economists. While the supply chain disruptions impacting the availability of appliances, used cars, computer chips will ease as the pandemic ebbs, real estate will not be so lucky, the report said. And you can read this entire report. Housing shortage likely to outlast other pandemic-driven scarcities. What does that mean? Well, it means a lot of things. Number one, it means lack of inventory. Whenever you're in real estate, there's a buyer's market and there's a seller's market. Anybody in real estate, you'll understand this. Supply and demand, just like anything else. Well, when there's a lack of inventory, it's a seller's market, not a buyer's market. We're definitely in a seller's market. In fact, I can tell you my house has almost doubled in price over the last couple of years because of this shortage. It's been crazy. So if someone were to purchase my house right now, they're going to pay more. They're going to pay, it is probably inflated. Most houses are right now. You put your house up for sale, there's bidding wars also, which create higher prices. It is just crazy. So investors right now are looking for other options. They don't want to buy when it's high. Remember, everybody says, hey, you buy when it's low and you sell when it's high. That's 101 to any investor. So right now, if you're looking at the shortage, and again, according to Goldman Sachs, according to all sorts of different news outlets and CEOs and things of that sort, it's going to stick around for a long, long time. But the good thing about it is, we have other options. Because anytime there's a pandemic like this, it creates more opportunities somewhere else. Housing shortage, 5 more million homes needed for supply to catch up to demand. Here's a problem. 267,000 less homes being built on average per year. That 5 million number is going up. It's not decreasing, it's increasing. This could last a long time. But again, whenever there's an issue, there's also an opportunity. I remember anybody in real estate, if you were in it 2008, 2009, 2010, I know for many of us, we don't like to talk about those years, especially 2010, when the crash just crumbled on everybody, and it affected a lot of different industries. It wasn't just real estate, it affected a lot of different things, the economy as a whole. But a lot of people left real estate at that time. Some of us were stubborn, stayed in for a while, and went into the foreclosure market, went into the shadow market, went into the REO properties, which are real estate owned properties, and all these different properties that we looked at, and I did really well appraising foreclosure properties, buying foreclosures, all sorts of, some people capitalized on that. There's always an opportunity whenever there's an issue. Tokenization is it right now. Because More Global says tokenized real estate could reach $1.4 trillion in the next 5 years. And that's if 0.5% of real estate is tokenized. 0.5% would create a $1.4 trillion market. That's insane. And what do these tokenized projects do? They attract more buyers because it's less expensive, especially commercial. Go out and try to find a commercial building and buy into any commercial building for $100. Go do that right now. If it's not tokenized, it's not happening. It's not happening. Simple access, great liquidity. We'll talk about that here in a moment. Immutable ownership. We'll talk about all this stuff. but there's real opportunity here. And the cool thing is, we're not just going to talk about real estate today. We're going to talk about cryptocurrency and how our tokenized real estate ties directly into another cryptocurrency, which ties into a marketplace with multiple potential streams of income for you. That's what I love about this stuff. And no credit checks, no closing costs, no down payments, none of that stuff. No management companies that deal with all the time, no bidding wars, no shortage of properties, no tenants, higher yields, instant payments. What if your yield was 8% to begin with? When you know, if I purchase a house right now, my yield is going to be closer to 1% to 7%, depending if I paid cash or if I carried out a mortgage. We're going to go over those numbers here shortly as well. Mr. Height, he sees this. He sees this pandemic. He sees this shortage in certain markets, especially here in the United States where I'm at. A major shortage for properties right now. Hard to find. There are people having a hard time finding an apartment to move to. Even some renters, rent has gone up all over the United States. Everything is affecting everybody. So as an investor, I look at that and say, nah, I don't think so. Not right now. Not a good time. I want to look at a tokenized project, or platform. But if I look at one, I want one that gives me the best bang for my buck. That's what we're looking for here. And if you really look at Joseph Height and what he's done and resorts he owns and real estate, and that he's helped develop things of that sort, he understands how real estate works at a very, very high level. He also understands how cryptocurrency works at a high level. So let's break this down a little bit even more. If I were to elect option one, right now in the United States, the average home price is about $287,000. May 20 of 2021, 13.2% increase from the previous year. That's big because it was nowhere near 287,000 last year. It's that spike, it's that shortage, and the average rent's about $1,850. What does that mean? If you do the math on it, take your 20% down payment, everything, all things considered, you're looking at about a 1.5% yield. Just like I said, between 1 and 2%. I've done this. I've seen this. I've been in this world. I understand this world really well. If I were to pay cash for the same $287,000, I just put cash on the table. Here you go. And then I elect not to have a maintenance budget, which is never a good idea, but say I don't have a maintenance budget. I'm looking in this scenario, buying a house for $287,000 with the average rent of $1,850 for a house. I'm looking at about a 7.1% yield. That's what I'm looking at. Why wouldn't I want to start with an 8% yield and not have to find the house, not have to bid on the house, not have to put any repairs, remodeling, new carpet, anything into the house? I can just own a commercial building. So this is what we have to ask ourselves, and you have to be really careful about this. It's about the yield, not the cost, not the price, not anything else. What does that mean? If I were to purchase a property tokenized and I put $100,000 in, and say that $100,000 bought me 1,000 square feet. Then I bought a similar property for the same $100,000 and I got 200,000 square feet. Your mind, where does it go? Well, the 200,000 or the 2,000 square feet, 2,000 square feet. So it's twice the size for the same cost. Which one is a better deal to the investor? Most people's minds would say, well, John, this one, I'm getting twice as much square footage, so this is a better deal. But that's not where your minds need to go. Unless you're actually living in that property and actually experiencing what they call value in use, you're getting use out of the property because you live it. You're not living in that property to enjoy the additional 1,000 square feet, then it does not matter. What yield are you receiving? If I buy $100,000 worth of property and I receive 1,000 square feet, my yield is 8%. Then I buy a similar property, twice as big, and my yield is 7%. Which one's better, 7% or 8%? It's about the yield, not the cost. It's the yield. If I'm making an 8% on my money every year, it's better than 7%. So everything else, throw it out the window. Doesn't matter. Unless you live there and you're enjoying it yourself, it does not matter. This is what, and this is how investors look at it. So I'm going to tell you about an opportunity that starts at 8%. Most properties, if you're looking to tokenize, are 6 to 10%. So 8%, we're right in the middle. Thinking, okay, great. But I didn't say we're ending at 8. I'm saying starting at 8%. And then we're going to take that building, and because you purchase square inches or square feet in that building, we're going to take part of that purchase and we're going to roll it over into staking pools, cryptocurrency staking pools. What does that mean? Anytime how many of you on the call have ever purchased Bitcoin? Bitcoin is one of the most popular, well, if not the most popular one. You purchase, you go to Coinbase or wherever, you purchase your Bitcoin. You say, I put $100 in Bitcoin, and all of a sudden you have like $84. You're like, oh, what? Where'd that $16 go? Okay, there are different fees you're paying. You're paying a fee to Coinbase, so an exchange fee, but you're also paying a mining fee. Anytime the blockchain is a ledger, it is a recorded ledger. Every transaction is recorded, it's irreversible, and it's decentralized. Anybody can look at it. Here's the deal. Anytime a transaction is done on the blockchain, confirmations have to happen. Typically with Bitcoin, 6 or more before it's received by the recipient. The machines or the rigs creating these confirmations are being awarded Bitcoin. So that fee that you paid, part of that fee is going to reward those mining machines or those rigs. In staking, it's proof of work. And so what they're doing is they're saying, okay, we're not running it on these rigs. We're running it on a computer called a node or a master node. And you will you can put your coins, you can elect to put your coins in a node, and you will receive those payments or those rewards. So basically you're being paid to hold your coins, to lock them in a node. With our real estate, when you purchase real estate, you are given an option to use 15% of your purchase amount for a second coin called G999 that they will place into a staking pool for you, which will give you staking rewards of 5% for 3.5 years, then 2.5% for life if you elect to keep the real estate. You can sell it at any time, but as long as you're holding that real estate, you will receive these staking payouts. What does that mean? It means your yield is indirectly increased. Right now, as of today, based off the price of G999 in that staking pool at a 5% yield, you're adding about another 2%. So now we're up to 10% yields because you've got the 2% on the staking overall, and then the 8% on the building. So now you're at the top end. So the other company is saying 6 to 10%. Here's the good news. That's the first indirect way to increase your yield. We have many other ways to do it. Let's go back to option 1 again. Option 1, I can either find a property to rent or I can find a property to flip. If you want to find a property to rent or to flip, the best route, the best way to go, if you can find them, especially in a shortage, it's called the shadow inventory, shadow market. If a real estate investor knows how to approach REO departments, especially of smaller banks, portfolio lenders, and credit unions, they have a chance to beat the competition and purchase properties at a great discount. Now, they make it sound so easy. The problem is each bank only has so many properties, and they'll hold these properties up to 4 years, and they'll just kind of let them cycle out as they go. But if a real estate investor knows how to approach, well, how many investors do you think have already approached these banks and these lending institutions? Good luck getting into the shadow inventory if you're not already, if you do not already have access to the shadow. Yeah, all I'm saying is good luck. They have been approached by thousands and thousands of investors, many banks and institutions, things of that sort. They've got the list of people that have access to these. If you're in the game already, great. If you're not, it's not easy to get in. It's very, very difficult to get in, especially when we're having a shortage. But that's where you're going to find the better deals on the homes. Otherwise, you're in a bidding war, and otherwise you're probably going to pay more than, in many cases, you're going to pay more than it would cost to fix the house. So if you try to turn it and flip it for a profit, you better be a darn good negotiator. You better hope that there's not 20 other bids on that house. This is just reality. This is how it works. You see those shows on TV, those people that find these properties and they go out and buy and sell, they make it look so easy. It's not as easy as I'm telling you that right now. Can you win on some? Yes. Can you lose on some? Absolutely. I've seen it many, many times. Many times. So that's an option. But I can go out and say, you know what? I'm just going to push a button. I'm going to buy tokenized real estate. I'm going to get the staking payouts. And I am also going to be able to, that same concept of staking, I can also take advantage of staking pools up to 196 additional times, plus another 50 times with states. When we're talking about that, there's 246 additional potential streams of income that you can potentially receive just by clicking that button and buying XLT. Because when you buy XLT, we also gift you Lydian Lions, which are being plugged into a worldwide marketplace. And those Lydian Lions allow you to purchase citizenships via NFTs certificates into countries where you will receive an override of revenues and in staking pools. So 100% of the countries that you will in, you will receive payouts in 100% of the countries. That is going to indirectly take your yield to new heights. It will be crazy. What if you purchased $100,000 at a 10% yield, you made $10,000, here's your 10%. What if you made an additional $10,000 staking? Now you're at a 20% yield. What if you made 30,000 staking in 200 plus countries? Now you're at a 30% yield. Get that in real estate anywhere annually. Good luck. Good luck, because it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen in any other tokenized platform. It's not going to happen with any real estate. It's not simply not going to happen. We have created what they call the X factor. Now, I'm not going to come out and tell you what all the numbers are going to be. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, but I do know this. I do know what we're staking, and I do know what we're doing to increase the value of the staking pools so that you can potentially earn more and more and more. So everybody do me a favor. Next time you go speak with a real estate agent and you want to purchase a property, ask the agent to attach it to a marketplace. And this is the look that he or she will probably give you. Scratch on the head like, what is John talking about? What is he talking about? I'm talking about the X factor. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the digital marketplace where we are bringing buyers and sellers together all around the world with the magic of blockchain technology. We are able to create a revenue for all Lydian World NFT holders through multiple means, including but not limited to staking, MasterCard use, gaming, sales revenue, all being funneled in your digital wealth center. Because you have a certificate, because you purchased XLT, you purchased tokenized real estate as a private sale, as a member for a limited time, and you were gifted dollar for dollar Lydian dollars, Lydian Lions, in some cases 2 for 1. And you can set up multiple streams of income. And at the same time, you can sell your real estate. If you sell your real estate, you still have the staking centers and the staking pools from Lydian World. So what if you sold your XLT? You're still receiving payouts from Lydian World. So I'm going to teach you a really cool concept right now. I want to teach you something, but one thing I always felt bad about when I was talking to people, especially new people in real estate or even homeowners. Homeowners are funny because, you know, everybody thinks their house is the best house, right? I mean, we take pride as homeowners. I get it. I totally understand it. And everyone's saying, oh, my house is the nicest house in the neighborhood. It's worth the most. Well, I added this, I added that. This is a free slide for everybody that comes on these calls. I want to teach you how to save yourself potentially tens of thousands of dollars by not over improving your market, your house within a certain market. whenever an appraisal is done on a house, it is a market analysis. It's what your market tells you what your house is worth, not your new chandelier, not your new landscaping. The market dictates what your house is worth. If you over improve your house in certain markets, you will most not likely receive that money back. One of the biggest over improvements, I'll tell you right now, are swimming pools in certain markets. In Salt Lake City, it's cold in the winters. If you have a swimming pool in Salt Lake City, you can't use it year round unless you heat it in all these different ways. But you would pay on average $50,000 for a pool. If I appraise your house, I might give you $15,000. I'll do what they call cross-line adjustment. I'll give you a fraction of the cost of that pool when you go sell your house. So you're going to receive what they call value in use, meaning you enjoyed the pool, you loved the pool, but if you bought it for an investment in Salt Lake, not a good idea, because you're most likely losing money. Now, that could be different in Arizona or something like that, right? Where that might just be standard, things of that sort. I'll give you a perfect example of this. I did an appraisal in Georgia. I've done thousands of appraisals, but I remember this one very, very well. This couple, they bought this nice house and they purchased a $200,000 chandelier. It's like half the cost of the house. And they hung the chandelier up, had it installed, and then they wanted me to appraise their house a couple weeks later and add $200,000 value to their house because of the chandelier. And I looked at him and said, I'm going to be honest with you, this is not going to happen. So why is that? I said, well, because that house down the street, same square footage, same builder, same year built, even the same color, everything, sold for this last week. This house is listed for this. This house is sold for this. Your market is saying this is what your house is worth. Your market did not factor in your $200,000 over improved chandelier. So don't make that mistake. I'm just telling you that right now. Don't make that mistake because it could cost you a lot of money. It's called super inadequacy. And appraisers, our job as an appraiser, our job was to go into there and tell the bank if they were making a good loan or not. So the appraisal doesn't come in because you over improve that property and now if every house had a chandelier like that, and the houses with those chandeliers, say you had 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 houses with chandeliers that sold for $200,000 more because they had a chandelier, that's a different story. Another one is with the solar panels, right? There's some markets where solar panels add value. There's some where they don't, because if you don't have enough comparable cells with solar panels and they haven't set that market yet, you're not going to recapture that cost on an appraisal. So again, this is just things that, before you really make major improvements to your home, I would consult an appraiser, maybe pay $300, $400 or whatever it is, pay the appraiser, have him or her go out there and give you a fair assessment and say, if I also make these improvements, how would that affect my value? This is just a free tip for everybody. But the reason I mention this is because I've been analyzing markets for years and years and years. I know how to follow trends. I understand city planning, growth, anticipation, safety, employment, recreation, all of it. So what I did is I took the liberty and I pulled comparables in Dubai, because if I'm looking to purchase a property or partial properties in Dubai, I want to know what the market in Dubai looks like. So what I did, I looked at Business Bay. Our building is in Business Bay. So you've got the Burj Khalifa, you've got Burj Khalifa District. Right next to Burj Khalifa District is Business Bay. It is the hottest district right now in Dubai. Look it up. There's multiple articles, many articles about Business Bay. It's like the next big thing in Dubai. That's where our property sits. I looked at 1-bedroom apartments in Business Bay, in towers, very similar to ours. And what you need to do is you look at the cost, then you look at what they rent out for annually. If I were an investor and I bought this unit for 800,000 dirham, which is about $220,000 USD, then I rented it out for 11,004. That's the rent on this unit. On a similar unit, look at same building, 9AG Tower, Business Bay, Dubai, 1 bedroom, 546 square feet, 500 within 20 square feet. Anything within 10% is very, you don't even have to make a cross line adjustment if it's within 10% as an appraiser. You just put a 0 and type in NA. So there would be no adjustments on the appraisal, everything, very comparable units. This is a rent, that's a cost. That yield is 5.18%. I did the same thing. Now I put an arrow pointing to Driven Properties. Why? Because Driven Properties is our partner in this building. So these are other units that Driven Property owns. They sold, rented out, things of that sort. Look at this yield, 6.82%. And I looked at about 20 or 30 of these. I came to the conclusion that we are looking at about a 6% yield on average in Business Bay in Dubai. And then look at what I found. Property Finder agrees with my assessment. House prices in Business Bay, the last 90 days, average rent, average cost, transactions, average gross yield, 6%. We start at 8% in our building. So we're on the high end. We're above average. But again, remember the staking can take us up over 10%. But then there's a marketplace, a Lydian World, that is going to just blow your minds where we can take this yield. Because this is exactly how it works. Now, this is another question to ask yourself. I'm new to cryptocurrency, John. Man, I wish I bought Shiba 3 months ago. You know what? Don't we all, right? And I wish I would have bought Bitcoin 13 years ago. Again, don't we all, right? And so, but what's a safe passage? In my opinion, I've been in cryptocurrency for over 7 years. Safe passage is XLT. Why? Because staking, think about what you're doing when you're staking a coin. You're being paid coins for holding coins in a pool. So anytime transactions happen, you're receiving these transaction rewards. We know we're getting paid 5% on the collateral on the staking pool. We know we're getting paid a percentage in every single country we have a certificate in. We know, so that, I'll tell you what this means. If the coin is at half a cent, which it is, and I'm making coins for holding it, and the price never moves, it never goes up, I'm still earning an income. Is that safe? Is that safer than trying to buy, sell, and time it at the right time? It's a lot safer than that. You don't have the volatility. So even if the coin dips a little bit, but I still made a bunch of coins, I'm safe. And I'm making the money on the real estate and everything else. So now let's do some math. Let's say I have $10,000 and I put it into XLT. Look at the bottom chart. $10,000, if I did it $99 at a time, I'd receive 20,000 Lydian lines. If I did it just one-time chunk, I'd receive 10,000 Lydian lines. That would get me about 90 countries in Lydian World. If I'm only making $10 per month per country, that would take my yield of 8% to 116%. I would be making $11,600 a year off of $10,000. You tell me anywhere else in the world you can get a 116% yield on real estate. Oh, wait. You won't be able to tell me. It's not. So these are not direct yields. This is what they call indirect yields, because this indirectly is how it works. Because you are being given Lydian lands to put into Lydian World. And all those certificates you own in Lydian World give you access to sharing revenue in staking, cryptocurrency staking pools. Every single one. That's what this chart represents. So if I have $25,000, look at these yields, 70% yields. $57,000. Why is it in red? Well, if I bought a house for $287,000, and I put a down payment of 20%, that's $57,000. Guess how much you make on your down payment? $0. When have you ever put a down payment on a house and made money on your down payment? $0. This, if you took that same 20% off of the average house, the cost in America, $57,000, look at your yield on that. And versus 1.5%, because if I put that down as a down payment and I carried a mortgage, in that example I made based off the average house cost, 1%, 1.5% yield versus 37.53% yield. This is why XLT, in my opinion, is by far greater than any other program out there when it comes to tokenization. There's not even a close second. Nothing touches this. And then what if it's $20 per month per country, $30? And I'm going to show you why I believe it's going to be a lot more than that. Look at the yields. So you realtors out there and people out there in real estate, look at what happens by attaching our real estate to a marketplace. Indirectly by giving you Lydian lines. You can buy whatever certificates in whatever countries you want. We have a whole list of countries you can do and why these ones and why those ones. And you can see what all the staking pools are in each country. And those pools are actually getting larger and larger as we go. And I'm going to get into all of that. Before I get into that, I also like to forecast. I don't want to put my money in a city until I forecast. But here's the cool thing. Even if Dubai was still struggling, which it is definitely not right now, but even if it were, I kind of like having my real estate attached to that marketplace. What if my yield slipped to 4%, but my marketplace is paying me 30, 40%? You think I'm going to lose any sleep over that? Now, if it was only the building itself and the building just underperformed, yeah, I might lose a little sleep. I'm like, okay, I didn't sign up for this. But the marketplace is the X factor. It is literally indirectly increasing your yield like crazy. But let's look at the Dubai recovery in the forecast and talk about the Dubai 2040 master plan a little bit. The Dubai 2040 urban master plan, look it up. It's amazing. Maps out comprehensive plan for sustainable urban development in Dubai. Dubai is growing by over 100,000 people a year right now. With this master plan, and I read the entire thing, I looked at it, it is amazing. But look at this. Upgrade Dubai's urban areas, Dairy and Bird Dubai, downtown, and Business Bay. Business Bay is where our building is. Dubai Marina and JBR and the two new centers, all that kind of stuff. Major development happening right there in Business Bay, right in these areas. As part of this master plan to make Dubai, they want Dubai to be known as the safest, most industrial, futuristic city on earth. And it's all over, and you can read this report again, Dubai 2040 master plan. Also, as one thing, when I used to consult potential clients for real estate, potential investors, they come to me and say, listen, and a lot of it was in Atlanta, and there's all these different, anybody who's from Atlanta, you know that there's their perimeter, right? 285 it circles the city, things of that sort. And within the perimeter, there's all sorts of different markets, a lot of different markets, and all over the city like this. But I focused a lot inside that perimeter, and I had a lot of investors because they'd want to buy and sell and do quick flips and things of that sort, and say, hey, John, this neighborhood was that one, and why do you like this one more than that one? Blah, 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 blah. And so in real estate, there's cycles. There's recession, there's recovery, there's hyper supply, and there's expansion. Then every neighborhood has its own cycle. Growth, stability, decline, renewal, which is known as gentrification. Well, this is what happens. As an investor, I like to time it. Everyone says location, location, location. I say no. Location, yield, timing. That's what I like. Location, yield, timing. I don't say locate because I'm an investor. So I look at it differently. Location, location, location. Okay, great. If I want to live there, I want to enjoy it, wonderful. But mine, location, yield, timing. If I were to purchase as an investor, I want to purchase at the very beginning, not the tail end of, but the beginning of a recovery, which in Dubai started 2021. In fact, our Business Bay area has already increased over 14.2% this year alone. So what does that mean? It means that it's a good time to buy. That's what it means. And this is before reading the 2040 report where they want to take Business Bay and just go nuts with it. Read that report. Read it. I would lock in because right now, Dubai did dip. It dipped last year. The average square footage for this area was $2,154. Right now, you can get it with us for under $1,450. It's about $1,388. $1,388 a square foot. Under market, but the market's starting to recover now. Why did it dip? That's the you've got to understand why it did. It dipped because of COVID-19. It dipped because of oil and gas uncertainties. A lot of that because stemming from COVID-19. Now that the restrictions have been lifted for the most part, businesses are starting to move into the city again. All these companies are moving, called holding companies, are going into the city and they're revitalizing it. The growth is coming back to Dubai. The market is getting a full recovery. In fact, they think the market's going to recover by over 111% over the next 5 years. Now, again, where am I getting all this information? Visualcapitalist.com. All these links that you see at the bottom of these pages, these are all links to all this information I was gathering. I just know where to look in the first place because this is what I did for a living for 20 years. I analyzed markets. That's what appraisers do. That's their job, right? Banks paid us a lot of money to do this. Hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars to do appraisals all over the place. The world's biggest real estate bubbles in 2021. Now, this is a chart. This was interesting. Another member sent me this one. I read through it. I'm like, oh, wow. Dubai is listed as undervalued and is the only city in the index with a negative score. In this case, that's good. Golf, negative, good. This, negative, good. This is least likely to burst. Means it's not overpriced. In fact, it's undervalued according to this. The only city out of Frankfurt, Toronto, Hong Kong, Munich, Zurich, Vancouver, I'm not going to read them all, but all these cities, Dubai is the most likely to burst, the most undervalued. That is crazy. That is really amazing. So not only am I getting real estate in this market in a full recovery in Dubai, I can get it tokenized starting at $99. I can have it attached to a marketplace to indirectly take the yield through wherever. It's crazy. I'm also being told that it is the most undervalued city out of all these cities in all around the world. So I look at this and I'm thinking, how do I lose on this? Honestly, how do I lose? And on top of that, I'm buying it in phase 1 and phase 3. We're offering it right now in phase 1, which is going to be cheaper than phase 2 and phase 3. And then I went back further. I said, look, I want to look at Dubai over the last several years. So I like to see trends. I like to follow trends. Look at this from 2010 to till now. Look at the growth in this city. Dubai is now a global business hub with many companies locating offices here due to tax breaks, custom duty benefits, and no restrictions of foreign ownership. Thanks to its warm climate and easy accessibility from Europe, Dubai is also a luxury tourist destination popular year-round. Why do you think I highlighted luxury? Because our building is a luxury building. It is like the Rolls-Royce of buildings. It is a gorgeous building that you will own square inches and square feet, and you can keep them. You can make money on this staking pool with the collateral, or you can sell it. Sell it after phase 3. Go turn a profit in a year if you want to do that. I don't, do whatever you want. Right now, you're getting it for like $9.63 an inch instead of $15 to $18 because they're going to increase the price. Every phase, anybody who's ever bought real estate knows this. If you buy early in the early stages of any development, that's where you're going to get the best deals because they're setting the market. And phase 2 is more expensive than phase 1. Phase 3 is more expensive than phase 2 and phase 1. That's how it works. It's been that way for years, and it'll always be that way. You're getting it in phase 1. So the Dubai real estate market is gaining momentum as the emirate emerges from COVID-19 induced slowdown, just like what I've been saying. I've been telling members for the last few months. Now it's recovering, fully recovering, right in front of this 2040 plan, all of this stuff. What we've got to offer you right now, G999 Tower, brand advantage package or higher, private sell to members only. We had to set this up in a way that we're not selling a security. I am not interested in selling security. Let me tell you, I'm not interested in that at all. If we were just selling the token and nothing else, and it was a building itself securing the purchase, that is a security. But we're not doing that, and we're not opening it up to the public. This is a private sale. Okay, that private sale by itself would not separate that, but it's a start. Private sale, 9.9 minimum, million maximum. Here's the thing. Other income producing opportunities with XLT collateral, Lydian World. The fact that we're giving you Lydian lands that gives you money in places that into separate staking pools have nothing to do with real estate, nothing to do with the building, nothing to do with the revenue on the building, nothing. It's just additional monies, and that we separated ourselves from selling securities, which is why we're not. And I've talked to more than one attorney about this, but I want, when the questions come to you and people ask, how is this different? Well, if I were to go to another tokenized program, say, I'm going to buy your coin and it's going to represent your building, the ownership of my coin is represented by the building itself, whatever that building, however that building performs, that's backing that coin. That is a security. The building is securing the coin, right? That's what it is. This, we have multiple income streams coming in, stemming off from it, memberships, all sorts of different things, separating that from being a security. And that's why we set it up this way. That's why it's a private sale. That's why there's a maximum. That's why there is collateral payouts. That's why there's Lydian World payouts. We actually had to make it a better deal for you just to be compliant. How many times do you hear that? Usually you have to make it a tougher deal to keep it compliant. We had to make it a sweeter deal. We had to like add all sorts, or the company had to do all of that kind of stuff to make it compliant, which is really great because this one ended up being in your favor. So when people ask about it, that's the answer. That's why we set it up that way. So what is XLT? XLT is a voucher which represents 1 square inch of property in a building based in Burj Khalifa Street, Business Bay, Dubai. As an XLT voucher holder, do I participate in the commercial income of the unit? Yes, of course. That's that 8% yield. How will the commercial income of the units be shared between the XLT voucher holders? Easy. The managing company of G999 Tower, which is Driven Properties, will appoint a third-party auditor, which in the first year will audit the commercial incomes of the units and share the profits between XLT voucher holders. This is a Q&A located in your back office. When you click on XLT, you can see all of this information on there, no problem. The cool thing is the G999 Tower management team is expecting the first incomes payouts by Q1 2023. That is now Q1 2022. 2022. Our first payouts early 2022. Great, because Joseph Haidt, in his wisdom, brought in another management company, and the way that they're doing, we talked about the 20 million plus revenue, all those kind of things for the next 10 years. We're going to be able to pay out early first quarter 2022, which is awesome. Here are our partners, SaaS Properties and Driven Properties right there. You can contact them. You can talk to them, ask them about the G999 Tower in Dubai. Don't take my word for it. Contact them directly. Look them up. Go to Driven Properties website and contact them. Ask them about the G999 Tower and the exclusive living and everything. And it will say G999 right there on the tower. So advantages, obviously the transparency on the blockchain being a public ledger, security. Blockchains are distributed ledgers, which means that not one person, group, or organization controls them. In addition, blockchains rely on advanced cryptography to provide security to users. Immutability, this is a big one. How many times have you heard of anybody going to court fighting over property rights? I own it. Nope. I own it. Nope. I own it. Nope. I own it. Nope. We see it all the time. As an appraiser, I saw it. That's way too many times. Oh my gosh, I got tired of going to court. Having to do an appraisal, go to court, so the courts can decide, what the value is. So once the judge decides who owns it, they make the person sell the house and split it up amongst everybody fighting, arguing about who owned it. It happened all the time. With us, this is nice. You receive a smart contract, a self-executing contract with the terms of the agreement between buyer and seller being directly written into lines of code, and unchangeable, irreversible. You will know, I own this part of the unit. I own this part. It's immutable. Oh, immutability is what it gives you. And so you don't have to go through all these property disputes and things of that sort. You're welcome, because that's a big deal. Deed. I will receive a deed if I purchase an entire unit, meaning I bought 10 feet of a unit. If there's more than one owner per unit, it is called common ownership, tenancy in common. 2 or more persons hold title to real estate jointly with equal or unequal percentages of ownership. What that means, they're not going to receive a deed because there's only one deed per unit. Here's a 1,000 square foot unit, one deed. There's a 2,000 square foot unit, one deed. If 20 people own that 2,000 square foot unit, who gets the deed? Who would get the deed? None of them. They're not going to arm wrestle for it. They're not going to rock, paper, scissors for it. No thumb wrestling, none of that stuff going on. They will all receive a smart contract and say, you own this, you own this, you own this. Now, can they buy each other out? Of course they can. It's their real estate. They can do whatever they want. They can buy and sell. So somebody ends up owning an entire unit, then he or she will receive the deed. Then this right here, again, has the yield, the phase. We're in phase 1, 9.63. This is the most inexpensive. The cheapest you're going to be able to get this is right now. Tie it into the marketplace. Liquidity easy. Because there's buyers and buyers and buyers that want this. I can tell you a couple of things I know about phase 2 and 3, but I'm not going to get into that on this call. I just know there's a lot of demand for this building, but I'll leave it at that. Liquidity, you can sell it to people. I mean, it's your real estate. You can do whatever you want with it. I am not selling because to me, real estate's always been long-term. I've done a few flips here and there, but mostly rentals. I like that long term. I want residuals. I like residuals. You can refer it out, make 18%. You can have other people refer it out along with you. And here's the percentage chart. You can make a really good income referring it out. You make 18%, 30% of the purchase. So your real estate agents out there, 5.4%. You don't have to be a licensed agent to refer this out because it's a private sale amongst members. The way it's set up, the way it's structured, you don't have to be licensed to do this, which is really, really nice. It's almost like you can almost, in a sense, become your own broker and have little agents working for you underneath you right there, right? An associate broker or whatever, or broker. So anyway, very, very good commissions if you refer it out as well. So let's wrap this up with the Lydian world, my favorite part. I told you earlier in this call, hey, my strat, people come to me all the time. I've done probably 20 to 25 different one-on-one strategy meetings this week. I've done a lot of them with members all across the board. I say, if it was me, this is what I would do. If it was, da, da, da. And I just say, look, am I buying the XLT when I buy it $99 at a time. Why? Because buying $99 at a time, I receive 2 for 1 Lydian lines. So for every dollar I spend, I get 2 Lydian lines. Look at this, guys. This is where I get excited. This is why that we should be just feeling that we should be buying this stuff like it's going out of style. It's not going to, we're not going to have this opportunity much longer. Look at the countries to the right. There's 37 of them. You know, for 999 Lydian lions, you can buy a certificate, a citizenship via NFT in all 37 of these countries. All 30 of these 7 of these countries have staking pools, which means that's 37 additional streams of income for buying $1,000 worth of Lydian of XLT. So don't look at cost per square foot. Don't look at cost per. This is the biggest mistake I've always seen investors made, and I talk to them all the time. Again, it's the yield. The yield. If I put X amount of dollars and I receive this percentage back, and this percentage is higher than that percentage, even though that the lower percentage had more square footage, who cares? Who cares? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's what the yield is. That goes back to the value in use, the over improvement, the super inadequacy. If I live in a house and I buy a swimming pool because I want a pool and I want to swim in the pool year round and all that, I know if I sell that house, I'm not making dollar for dollar on that pool back. I know that, especially here in Utah. It's not going to happen. But I like the pool. I swam in it. So it's okay. So I paid the $50,000, $60,000 to build the pool, knowing when I sell that house, I might get $15,000, $20,000 back. I'm not looking at the square footage of the pool. I'm not looking at all that. Learn to look at things the correct way. If I put $10,000 in, what do I get back? I'm not living there. I don't care what the cost per square foot is. It doesn't matter to me. Now, you're getting a good deal on the cost. We just went through all that. You're getting it at a recovery. Last year at this time, square footage in that building was about $2,100 in comparable units, comparable buildings. Right now it's about $1,388. So you're getting a great deal on it in a recovering market. Okay, we can cover that all day. But if I put 10,000 in, I'd receive 20,000 Lydian lands. For 1,000 Lydian lands, I receive certificates in 37 countries. I can just go buy one at a time, starting at 0.65, 1.7, 32, all the way between 0 and 100. Well, then I would have 19,000 lithium lions left. What can I do with those 19,000? I can go buy like another 40 or 50 countries. Now I have 40 to 50 residual streams of income for $10,000 plus the yield on the building, plus the yield on the collateral. And here's where it gets really exciting, guys. This is where I get really, really excited. I took the liberty, and I follow this really closely. If I added up all 37 countries, that's 7.7 million coins being staked. I'm getting a percentage on all these staking pools. Well, look at, I pulled it a week later. Marshall Islands increased by 7,300 coins. Tuvalu 3,000. Look at Belize, 71,000 coin increase. The staking pools are getting bigger because as people purchase items in our ecosystem, like packages, XLT, and other things, we take part of that purchase and we insert those coins into these staking pools, which will pay you more money. So your ability, potential to earn increases. And how do you get your fingers on these lithium dollars to buy these certificates? You buy real estate in Dubai. That's why I call it the gateway. It's the gateway. Then you got to understand mass adoption, and we'll wrap this up. When members come to me and say, John, when is this coin going to really go up in value? And again, I'm like, I don't have a crystal ball, but I can tell you, if we were just focused on the members and nobody else, and we said, all right, the members by themselves are going to drive this coin up to X amount of dollars. I said, that won't happen. It will never happen that way. Members by themselves will not drive this coin up to X amount of dollars. It won't happen. It would have happened by now. No, mass adoption. How do you create mass adoption? You create use cases. You create utility. You create demand. One way to create demand is XLT. I need G999 to use as collateral to have staking pools. I get paid more money if I use my G999 as collateral than I would if I didn't. That's demand. Okay, that's great. The staking, the white label. We've talked about a card. A lot of you have heard about the card. I have the card. I use the card all the time. We can distribute it in 169 countries. We're white labeling that card here shortly. Once we can scale it, this white label will start. And this card has the ability to pay people around the world. And a lot of companies are banging down our front doors to white label. And think about it this way. Right now, we have about 10,000 people using the card. Our coin's at half a cent. What if you positioned yourself right now and you got all these, you got the coin at half a cent. You got XLT in phase one. You position yourself in 100 plus countries. You're feeling pretty good. You haven't done it, you may want to start. You really may want to start. Then we white label this sucker. And we say, all right, I have this company and this company, all these networking companies, all these groups, they're like, they have to, in order to pay for the white label, to pay for the ability to pay their distributors worldwide, and they definitely want to because it's a much better option than the two wallet options they have right now. They have to open up a G999 wallet. They have to pay us in G999, which means they have to go to the exchanges, buy G999, which is going to what? Increase the market cap. They have to do this every month to pay us. Here's where it gets really exciting. We don't talk about this enough. These members that are being paid, their new payroll card is our card with their company's logo on it. That's what white label means. They're putting their logo, their white label in. They're making it look like it's coming from them, even though it's coming from us. Every single one of their distributors to have access to his or her commission have to do what? They have to activate the card. There's millions of them versus 10,000 right now. Millions of wallets being opened. And millions of people buying G999 every month to turn their card on, right? To activate their card because they have to pay $10, $20, $15, whatever the fee's going to be. They have to buy that G999. Millions of transactions. What is that going to do to the value of G999? Now, you can give me this argument. Well, they only activate their card once. True. But how many times do they get paid a month in commission? Once, twice? Say it's once a month. What if they take their commission and they transfer it from their card to their bank? Do you know what that is? That's a transaction. Guess what? There's a transaction fee. Guess what that transaction fee is paid in? G999. So there's millions, even if they don't swipe it at the store, and you know a lot of them are going to do this because it's their payroll card. So they just take their money, their commission, they move it over to their bank. That's a transaction. Guess what that does to the staking pools? Well, those staking pools are awarded with transaction fees, right? Because they're staking. So now your staking pools become more valuable. At the same time, G999 is being bought every time this happens. So even if the millions of people don't even use the card regularly, they're just using it once a month to move their money from their card to their bank, they're still transacting. See the brilliance in this? And that's the white label. I don't even have time to even get into the mirror trading and the gaming and the API and all that, all these other things. That's when the coin's going to spike. And I believe it's going to be a huge, just keep going and going and going and going. This is brilliant. Now imagine if you owned XLT and you were to take those Lydian lands you were awarded and you stuck into this marketplace before the white label, before the merchants, and before all the other stuff we learned about Lydian World in the last week and a half. Timing. Position yourself. Get in. Because this is just something I don't want to waste. And due to time, there's just, last slide here. I made the example, what if it was $10 a month, $20 a month you're making per country, things of that sort. What happens is G999 is at $5? And I want you to really think about this. I'm not saying, hey, it's going to be $5. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, what if we have 10,000? We know we have 10,000. We know we have white label deals knocking out orders. We know this. Just millions and millions of potential card users, customers. What if we only had 1 million? Do the math. Take 10,000 divided by 1 million. What is that, 4,000 times X or 2,000 times, 1,000 times X, whatever it is. I can easily see a $5 G999. If I went into Canada right now as a member and I earned Lydian lands because I bought XLT and I ran those numbers on the Canada staking pool. Right now the pool is 2.3 million coins. I multiplied it by 5 because it's $5. So that'd be like $10 million being staked, right? Fair enough. It's just basic math. At 5%, that would be $500,000. If I was a citizen, we all know the citizens are splitting 50% of that. I would make it as a citizen $267 in this example at a $5 coin. Remember what the yield was at $10? It was in some cases over 100%. Now you can probably see why, and look at this example for China, $24, Brazil, $197 per month. Now you see why I'm so excited about XLT. Now you see why I call it the gateway. Because I know, I understand the potential yields. I understand what we're doing with this coin. I understand where it's going. I understand the marketplace. I understand the merchants being able to white label, the white label on the card, the white label on Lydian World itself, the NFTs, all that kind of stuff. If you want to create value, sustainable value, you have to plug it into daily operations. You have to plug it into regular business. What do I mean by that? If I white label a card and I have employees to pay worldwide, I say I'm going to pay them X amount, whatever. I'm going to use this vehicle, which is a card, to do it, which is what these guys want to do. And I'm going to buy this G999, and we went through the fact that their card holders have to do the same thing. All they're doing is conducting their normal course of business, aren't they? They're not buying the coins to sell them on the market. They're conducting their normal course of business. And by doing so, you know what they're doing? They're organically and indirectly increasing the value of G999. And it's going to be happening all over the world. That's when the coin's going to spike. So be patient, let it happen. I did a call last night, and the gentleman said, I don't even want it to start till like March or April of next year. I want to buy as many as I can now. And I said, you're right. Be patient. Let it happen. Let the white label program. We just partnered with CoinEx. We know that. We all received an email. Why? Why would we partner with CoinEx. Easy, because CoinEx can scale the white label in America better than GSL can. There's your simple answer. It's easy. They're big enough to scale it. The demand, they know the demand is going to be millions and millions of cards. They know it. Well, if you can't mass produce millions of cards because your vendor's not big enough, you need a larger vendor. CoinEx. Follow the breadcrumbs, follow the clues, and all these things that they're doing. They're gearing up, they're ramping up for this major push. You can get in, get XLT right now. Get a crazy good deal on it. Plug yourself into this Lydian world and sit back and wait for Joseph to sign another contract and another one and another one and another one and a lot of us to go out and get these big white label deals, and you're going to refer some as well. And we are going to spike the heck out of this coin. $20 per month per country, $30. I just showed you examples where it could be over 100. Look at that yield. That would take your yields over 1,000% annually for getting XLT at $100 per month per country. You tell me a better opportunity in real estate anywhere. I'm all ears. I'll listen to it. I may not agree with it, but I will listen to it. I haven't seen anything close to this. One last thing. Lydian World to become the turnkey marketplace, number 6, for NFTs worldwide, including white labeling for additional cryptocurrencies. Lydian World to access 50 additional blockchains that merchants can also access for worldwide exposure for their NFTs products and services. Lydian World is just not the members in our company signing up for potential merchants to sell to. We've been talking about wrapping, right? The wrapping of the coin. What is wrapping in cryptocurrency? The ability for your blockchain to communicate with multiple blockchains. Our merchants will be able to sign up for our blockchain, our Lydian World, have access to us, but 50 additional blockchains and hundreds of markets of different people around the world, millions of people that they can market to, because hundreds of marketplaces. They have to pay a fee for that. It's not free. Oh, I want to access this marketplace. Oh, that's another fee. I want access to this marketplace. Oh, another fee. Another one. You have to pay G999 for this. Look at this for what it is, a big picture of it. It's absolutely amazing, guys. We are at the forefront of something so special, so big and so vast. So I'm really, really excited about it. I hope everybody's excited about it. I hope you all learned something on this call today, something that you may not have known before. If you were new, go back to the person who referred you. Somebody asking you how you get financing in Dubai. You don't. You just get with the person. You don't have to finance, so you can get it at $99 and up. So get back to the person who referred this to you. We're doing the same call next week, same time on the 18th, guys. It is amazing what we've got. Amazing what we've got. So again, everybody have a great day. I'm excited. I'm always excited to do these calls because I absolutely love real estate. It was been a passion of mine for a long, long time. Next, let's load it up. We have 300 something, almost 370 people on this call today. Let's get it up. 800, 900, 1,000 people. Let's get these calls. Let's ramp them up. Okay. Let's get them up, because guys, we have a couple months to do this as members, to take advantage of this. And I know how it is. Like if I tried to go in there and explain to you how surgery works and stuff like that, I wouldn't be able to do it. I would send you to a doctor. If you don't understand the real estate the way I understand it, just because I've been in it for a long time, don't try to regurgitate this. Send people on this call so they can understand, they can hear it from another real estate professional or whatever, because I may be able to explain it differently because it was my world for so long. Right. So it's important to get, because I can tell you this, we've had a lot of people come in and jump in and get XLT because of these calls. I've had a lot of feedback. I've had members, my own members, bring people in because of these calls and things of that sort, because again, I know how to speak the language, right? Just like, I would refer calls to, people to other calls if they spoke, whatever, I'm not an expert in everything, but I do know real estate in my sleep. So with that, everybody, have a great day and we will talk next week. Goodbye.
Got this feeling in our souls we care.